In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, Vietnam and France upgrade relations to comprehensive strategic partnership. Later on, Vietnamese agricultural products gain popularity in Asian markets. In our world news, Israel attacks HEZBOLLAH stronghold.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning in to 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Dylan Lei with the latest updates. Now, on top news of today's hour, on Monday night Vietnam time, General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm held talks with French President Emmanuel Macron. The two leaders expressed satisfaction with the positive developments in bilateral relations and agreed to elevate the two nations' relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership.
With this update, France becomes the first European Union country to establish a comprehensive strategic partnership with Vietnam. Both leaders outlined key directions and measures to enhance the partnership further, ensuring its alignment with the new framework between the two countries. Security and defense cooperation emerged as a vital pillar of the partnership. The two leaders agreed to effectively implement existing agreements and organize a security defense strategic dialogue in the near future. They also committed to collaborating on training and sharing experiences in crime prevention and control, as well as supporting each other in regional and international security forums. On the economic front, the two sides discussed promoting preferential loans and ODA for Vietnam. They encouraged agencies and businesses to fully implement the Vietnam-EU Free Trade Agreement, or EVFTA. Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm urged France to expedite the ratification of the EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement, or EVIPA, to which French President Macron responded positively. Additionally, the leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in various fields, including infrastructure, aerospace, science and technology, renewable energy, and hydrogen energy. They also emphasized collaboration in health, education, ecological agriculture, and circular agriculture.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation arrived at Hue International Airport in Vientiane on October the 8th, beginning their trip to Laos for the 44th and 45th ASEAN summits and related summits. The Prime Minister and his entourage were welcomed by Lao Minister of Energy and Mines Phie Son, other Lao officials, and Vietnamese Ambassador to Laos Nguyễn Minh Tâm, among other diplomats. The meetings themed ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience will take place in Vientiane and comprise over 20 activities. Delegates will address approximately 80 documents concerning ASEAN's priorities, intra-bloc cooperation, as well as collaboration with the partners. The Prime Minister is scheduled to deliver a key speech on Vietnam's perspective on issues facing ASEAN and the region. He will also engage in other delegates to discuss solutions for enhancing regional cooperation and connectivity, accelerating ASEAN community building, and strengthening relations between the bloc and its partners. Additionally, they will address regional and international matters of mutual concern. On Tuesday morning, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the conference to honor exemplary individuals and outstanding citizens of the capital for 2024. At the ceremony, he echoed the words of President Ho Chi Minh that emulation is patriotism, affirming that Hanoi has always been at the forefront of patriotic emulation movements. He acknowledged the contributions of nearly 700 exemplary individuals in the first 9 months of the year, representing tens of thousands of people who have performed good deeds. The Prime Minister called on Hanoi to continue to promote its traditions, harness its potential, and mobilize resources to build a cultural, civilized, modern capital. During the conference, Vice President Võ Thị Ánh Xuân presented the title of Outstanding Citizens of the Capital 2024 to 10 exemplary individuals. Prime Minister Phie has issued a dispatch requesting relevant agencies and localities to support enterprises in overcoming challenges, thereby boosting productions and business activities. He stressed the need to create a favorable business environment and encourage large companies to assist smaller ones, fostering domestic value chains and supporting industries. The Prime Minister called for reducing costs, decentralization, and eliminating unnecessary administrative procedures to lessen enterprises' compliance burdens. The leader also assigned specific tasks to various ministries. The Ministry of Finance will explore supportive tax policies, while the Ministry of Planning and Investment will enhance framework for business development. The State Bank is directed to lower lending rates to stimulate credit growth. Localities are encouraged to engage in businesses to gather feedback and provide timely assistance, especially to those affected by storms and floods. Under the chairmanship of National Assembly Chairman Chen Teng-mun, the National Assembly Standing Committee met on Tuesday for the second review of the draft law on teachers. The committee noted significant revisions to the draft law, including the removal of 26 articles, and deemed it ready for submission at the 8th session of the National Assembly. All deputies agreed that teachers' salaries should receive top priority within the public sector's salary framework. The committee recommended further research to ensure alignment with the amended social insurance law, particularly allowing preschool educators to retire 5 years earlier and still receive full benefits. The Standing Committee emphasized the need to clearly define the scope and target beneficiaries of support policies and to thoroughly assess the impact of incentives aimed at attracting and retaining teachers, especially the policy of tuition fee waivers for teachers' children. Agricultural exports have reached 2/3 of the 2024 target, totaling over $46 billion. In addition to the U.S. and European markets, the Asian market is increasingly important for Vietnamese enterprises. Their products are steadily gaining a foothold in this region.
Specializing in exporting coffee to Europe, this enterprise has observed a growing demand for coffee in Asia, where consumers prefer Vietnamese products. Consequently, it has started seeking partners in the Asian market over the past 2 years.
The East Asian market is more discerning, while Southeast Asia has greater financial resources. South Korea and Taiwan, China are strong consumers of Vietnamese goods.
Coffee, seafood, and fruits are increasingly gaining the trust of Asian consumers. Alongside China, which holds a significant market share for Vietnamese agricultural products, Japan and South Korea also show strong demand for Vietnam's tropical fruits and vegetables. In the first 9 months of 2024, the export value of agricultural products to Asia rose by 17.4% year-on-year.
Asia is a promising market for Vietnamese seafood, offering lower transportation costs, shorter logistic times, and favorable capital turnover.
This region has a large population and high incomes, making it ready to consume Vietnamese fruits and vegetables. The challenge is ensuring quality and meeting consumer preferences.
According to the Vietnam Fruit and Vegetable Association, Northeast Asian countries like China, South Korea, and Japan account for 80% of Vietnam's fruit and vegetable export turnover.
The Mekong Delta province of Bến Tre is preparing to export its first batch of fresh coconuts to China this October. The province has recently secured approval for 13 coconut growing areas to export to the Chinese market. Local farmers and businesses are eagerly gearing up to enter this market of over 1 billion consumers.
Tan and thousands of other orchard owners in Bến Tre province are thrilled to hear that fresh Vietnamese coconuts will soon be officially exported to China. Access to this market of over 1 billion consumers promises to significantly boost coconut exports.
The wholesaler buys it for around $2.5 USD a dozen. The export company buys it for around $4 US a dozen. We are very happy and are trying to take care of our coconut gardens.
To meet China's export requirements, the company is adjusting and enhancing its processes. Fresh coconuts from the source region will undergo 5 steps before being packaged and exported.
Our production has met the requirements of the Chinese partners for quite a while. I believe it's not too difficult to establish a factory code. However, we need to make some adjustments to suit Chinese requirements.
Bến Tre currently has about 16,000 hectares of land dedicated to coconut cultivation.
We expect that the upcoming export of fresh coconuts to China will result in higher prices for farmers and foster overall growth in coconut cultivation.
Bến Tre province aims to achieve a $1 billion export value for coconuts by 2030.
Since the beginning of the year, Vietnam's exports have shown strong recovery, with forecasts indicating that total export turnover could reach a historic milestone of $400 billion. According to the General Statistics Office, the export turnover for goods in the first 9 months of the year reached nearly $300 billion, a 15% increase compared to the same period last year. Notably, 7 categories of goods achieved export turnovers exceeding $10 billion, which are machinery, equipment, tools and spare parts, phones and components, computers and electronic products, footwear, textiles, wood and wood products, and means of transport and spare parts. Additionally, the domestic economic sector saw an impressive export growth rate of over 20%, outpacing the 13% growth recorded in the FDI sector. And before we move on, let's have a look at the exchange rate between the Vietnam dong and some world currencies in today's market. Coming up next on VTV News. Financial and material aid needed for people affected by Typhoon Yagi. Later on, Hanoi Vitality and Hope exhibition celebrates 70th anniversary of Hanoi liberation. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Prime Minister Phie has signed a decision to provide emergency support for 4 provinces impacted by Typhoon Yagi, which are Sơn La, Tuyên Quang, Lạng Sơn, and Phu Tho. Each province will receive about $840,000 to assist in recovery efforts. The Prime Minister has instructed the Ministry of Finance and the People's Committees of these provinces to ensure that the allocated funds are used appropriately and efficiently, with a focus on preventing waste or misuse. This central budget support will be combined with local budgets and other legal funding sources to help these provinces swiftly address the damage caused by the typhoon. 35 banks have allocated $16.31 billion for new loans and interest rate reductions to support individuals and businesses affected by Typhoon Yagi. While this funding is crucial for recovery, financial aid alone isn't enough. Let's take a look.
Duan's family once had tens of thousands of buoys for clams and oysters. However, Typhoon Yagi swept them away, causing over $281,000 in damage, nearly $80,000 of which came from bank loans.
Currently, we have no income to cover the bank's interest. I'm hoping the bank will extend our debt repayment period and reduce the interest rate.
This bank has extended principal and interest payments until the end of the year. It's also offering an extra $20,000 without collateral for repairing kitchens and purchasing materials.
We are reducing interest rates by up to 2% for the existing customers and have set aside over $3.2 million for new customers. We are streamlining procedures to better assist them.
The State Bank has announced lower interest rates for new loans at 5 to 6.7% per year for short-term and 5.5 to 8% per year for medium-term. Despite this, borrowers still face challenges with high prices for breeding animals and difficulties in obtaining farming materials.
Businesses aim to support local farmers by providing materials, seeds, feed, disinfectants and sanitizers for their farming. We will distribute this assistance to ensure it reaches those in need.
With the Lunar New Year holiday just 4 months away and cash flow limited, securing capital and acquiring breeding animals promptly is crucial for people to recover their livelihoods.
Da Nang City welcomed 8.7 million visitors over the past 9 months. Of these, international visitors exceeded the city's annual target, totaling 3.1 million. This surge has boosted Da Nang's tourism revenue by nearly 40% compared to the same period last year. The city is implementing various measures to sustain this growth, focusing particularly on developing high-quality tourism products and services.
Da Nang has kicked off its peak international tourism season, attracting numerous tour groups, especially from Malaysia. Malaysia has catapulted into the city's 10 tourist markets, with over 94,000 arrivals in just 9 months, surpassing the record of 2019.
This is my first time visiting Da Nang. I will be here for 4 days to explore attractions such as the Golden Bridge, the Dragon Bridge, and many of the city's beautiful beaches.
Over the past 9 months, Da Nang has welcomed nearly 2.3 million international visitors by year. The city saw over 14,000 flights arrive, a 2.2% increase compared to the same period last year. Currently, the city is attracting a significant number of tourists from South Korea, Taiwan, China, Malaysia, India, Thailand, Singapore, and Japan. To enhance their appeal, tourist attractions have proactively developed new products and organized events.
We have created several tourism products and additional services at the accommodation. Highlights for visitors this year are winter entertainment programs and local and international cuisine.
Da Nang is poised to welcome more international tourists with new flying routes from India and Indonesia this year. The city is also targeting Northeast Asia, India, and Australia to diversify its visitor base.
The Da Nang City Tourism Department will continue investing in upgrading and developing new tourism products and services to meet market demand. At the same time, we'll continue deploying various promotional activities.
Having surpassed its 9 months revenue target by 3%, Da Nang's tourism industry anticipates strong growth for the remainder of the year.
This year, Hanoi has launched about 100 projects to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the capital's liberation, with investments exceeding $3 billion. So far, 75% of the plan has been completed, with many key projects to improve quality of life and urban infrastructure finished on schedule, showcasing Hanoi's progress over the past 7 decades.
Hanoi's first children's hospital is located in Yên Nghĩa Ward, Hà Đông district. Covering about 67,000 square meters, it provides medical care for suburban districts and neighboring provinces, easing the burden on central hospitals.
The equipment includes synchronized investment in basic medical tools and modern devices like 128 slide CT scanners, ventilator monitoring systems, and operating rooms. We have a plan for the second phase of the children's hospital. Once completed, it will accommodate 500 beds, addressing the community needs for medical care and treatment.
After over 4 years of construction, the Âu Cơ Nghi Tam road expansion in Hồ Tây district is complete. The 3.7-kilometer road now has 4 to 6 lanes connecting central Hanoi to Nội Bài International Airport and the northwest of the city.
The traffic connection is the most crucial factor. Residents of the capital will enjoy safe and convenient travel along this major road.
Hanoi has inaugurated around 20 city-level projects for the 70th anniversary of the capital's liberation.
Hanoi is a vital center for development. The current challenge is to identify solutions for policies and mechanisms that can drive breakthroughs. The recent capital law has effectively addressed many of these needs, with resources encompassing human capital, finance, land, knowledge, and technology.
These projects laid the foundation for Hanoi to achieve its 2030 development goals, transforming it into a civilized, modern, and cultural capital that drives both regional and national growth.
The documentary film week about Hanoi is currently taking place, with the documentaries available on VTVgo until October the 10th. This is a key event in the series of activities celebrating the 70th anniversary of Hanoi's Liberation Day by Vietnam television. 20 documentaries share valuable insights into the Hanoi, the 1,000-year-old capital.
Where Peace Begins, a film recently released by Vietnam television, takes viewers back to 1946, when Hanoi was the first place where the National Resistance War began. 9 years later, the day of liberation on October 10, 1954, Hanoi is where an eternal peace for the future began.
Hanoi is where everything started to be liberated. We had to take a look back at the story of the 9 years of the resistance war before the peace began.
During the documentary film week, about 20 documentaries were screened. Alongside War and Peace, Hanoi experienced turbulence in many aspects. It includes the contributions and sacrifice of the police force seen through major cases, the concern about the quintessential cultural value of Thăng Long, and the celebrities, scholars, and intellectuals who create the soul of Hanoi.
We chose to make it simple with daily stories, with specific people. The setting, camera angle, and way of expression are to show that Hanoi is truly lovely with its simple beauty.
Each generation of Hanoians passing through leaves behind many marks in the lifestyle, architecture, streets, and historical relics. Hanoi is a pride of the people living in the city.
To commemorate the 70th anniversary of the liberation of Hanoi, the Vietnam Fine Arts Museum launched the exhibition Hanoi, Vitality and Hope on Tuesday morning. The exhibition showcases 70 carefully selected paintings, graphic artworks, and sculptures from the museum's collection. Visitors will have the opportunity to explore a diverse array of artworks created using various materials, including oil painting, lacquer, and wood graving. Notable pieces include Peace Restored by artist Nguyễn Tiến Trung, Hàng Đường Street by artist Trịnh Hữu Ngọc, and Day of Liberation by artist Trần Cảnh Trương. Throughout the ups and downs of history, Hanoi has consistently served as an inspiration for generations of artists, blending the tranquility and antiquity of its streets with the vibrant colors of the city's development. With a combination of traditional displays and modern digital projection technology, the exhibition promises to offer an engaging experience for art lovers. The exhibition will run until October the 22nd at the Vietnam Fine Arts Museum. Coming up next in our world news, Israel attacks HEZBOLLAH stronghold. And AI and high-tech enhance early childhood education. Now moving on to our world news. According to a Lebanese security source, an Israeli strike on Monday hit near the country's only airport in Beirut, close to Hezbollah's stronghold in the south of the capital. The official Lebanese national news agencies reported that the Israeli Air Force bombed around 30 villages in southern Lebanon's Sour district. Also on Monday, the Israeli army said it had carried out a targeted attack on a southern suburb of Beirut, describing the location as a key Hezbollah stronghold. The Israeli army stated that its warplanes bombed Hezbollah positions in southern Lebanon, conducting over 120 airstrikes in an hour. On Monday, a U.S. judge ordered Google to overhaul its mobile app business. The move aims to give Android users more options to download apps and pay for in-app transactions. The injunction issued by U.S. District Court in San Francisco requires Google to make several changes to enhance the competitiveness of its App Store. Specifically, within 3 years, Google must allow the use of alternative in-app payment methods and permit users to download applications from third-party platforms. The court order will take effect on November the 1st, giving Google time to adjust its existing agreements and practices to comply. This ruling represents a significant setback for Google in the mobile application field, especially as the company faces numerous other antitrust lawsuits in the U.S. Many countries, including Thailand and China, have tightened regulations on online sales amid the booming e-commerce industry. These policies aim to enhance transparency, protect consumers, and foster a healthier, more sustainable market. Thailand's new regulations mandate that online product sales and advertisements meet legal standards such as ISO and FDA requirements. Sellers must provide detailed product information, including certifications, importer details, and other crucial data. They must also verify their identity when applying to sell on digital platforms. Meanwhile, Chinese market regulators have introduced numerous new regulations to govern the online retail industry. Online sellers must clearly disclose product information on their websites, screens, and catalogs. Platforms are required to disclose the seller's name, address, and contact information. Online sellers are prohibited from making comparative claims like cheapest or best. Violators may face penalties, including temporary or permanent bans from online sales. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is gaining significant traction and becoming increasingly integrated into education. Recently, a kindergarten in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, has been leveraging AI-powered tools to enhance teaching practices. This innovative approach stimulates children's imagination and improves their learning abilities.
At the friendly Early Childhood Center, children are greeted by a robotic dog. They then participate in various classes and activities, including coloring, drawing on an interactive floor screen, and exploring the ocean using a sandbox. These toys integrate advanced technology to stimulate children's imagination and development. This innovative approach to early education combines cutting-edge technology with traditional learning methods.
We blended the classical education with artificial intelligence and high-tech technologies by implementing the interactive tool. We believe that artificial intelligence is not a base to learn and to give a knowledge, but it enhances the creativity and mind of a child to go out of the box and implement that knowledge in a wider world.
More and more educational establishments are leading the way in using artificial intelligence and advanced technologies to support education. Experts note that to successfully adapt this new approach, parents, teachers, and students need to work together.
To adapt that AI technology, if the team of parent, teacher, and student, they work together, adapt AI effectively, without losing any physical activities. So it will be helpful, and it's like, as I said, it's a catalyst now, AI.
AI-based learning solutions, software, and services are expected to enhance educational effectiveness, personalization, and accessibility.
Up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website or YouTube channel or download a mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.